Hello, friends, and welcome to the weekly connection with the Nomad Tribe. Obviously, I am not Ariel, but I'm here to run today's meeting, if you will. Today, I forgot. Let me pull up my things we can talk about what's coming this week and what's happening in the Scentsy world. I have had a hectic week. I just started working out this month, and it's kicking my booty, and so I'm trying to find a new adjustment on making time for my business. But I found that honestly, having the routine of doing something, I can follow up way easier. So I've just been doing that. How's everybody been doing this week compared to last week?
Much better.
Much better. What was going on last week?
Last week, Wednesday, we had gotten home from an 11-day trip for a funeral, and I had been like 2 weeks out of Scentsy zone. Yeah. And so just trying to like come back into routine and life and mom and kids and home.
Yeah.
And this week I have dedicated several hours, like spread out throughout the week, to messaging customers, following up, getting posts rescheduled, like all the things to try to get back on schedule. And it is making me feel better. My kids are acting better. Everything is just falling into place finally. Yeah. Now that it's been a whole week, everything is finally falling into place.
Gosh, that's so much. I'm one of those that the second you take me away from my house, my routine that I have, like ADHD, it's gone. Like everything will be just out of the window. So I get that. Why does my Scentsy success do this to me every time? Okay. So coming up this week, we have Mother's Day early access is coming on March 13th. So that's basically a way to get the Mother's Day collection. If you guys didn't see, we get to purchase it early so we can show it off, which is A1. Spring bricks are coming, but that's like a while from now. But like, if you guys want to start talking about them, highly recommend. I have a customer who calls me, I'm not even joking, like 3 times a day and sends like 16 messages a day. And she has questions about everything. Like she already knows about all of this coming out because she stalks other consultants and then like comes to me. But if you want to post about it, you can, because other people obviously already are. Just depends on how you run your business. Let's see, we have Batman coming back, or coming out, I should say, Monday, March 13th. So that's next week. What else we got here? Oh, we're doing the wellness. Okay. I believe SFR is opening up 13th. So yeah. So I think it's the 13th, honestly. Monday? I think it's Monday.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to talk about like your favorite thing about SFR real quick for the people who haven't been before? I'll share. Fine, I'll share. So my favorite thing, honestly, so I love, first of all, being able to just focus on Scentsy, because being a mom and homeschooling and a friend and a neighbor and all of the things that you do at home feels like, I don't know, it's like we're very much a family in the Scentsy world, but we're also very alone when we work. So like, I feel like SFR is the perfect place where you get to go and just focus with your people on the same thing. Like I can tell my husband all day, like I'm hype about this launch and everything's going great. And I've followed up with my customers and I'm doing some, and like, he doesn't get it. So like once I'm around my people that get it, it's like, it's a whole different realm. And so I really love being able to concentrate for those few days on connection and, learning and really getting back into the Scentsy spirit. And yeah, so that's my favorite thing about SFR. And I'm definitely going to be there. And it's North Carolina this year. So East Coasters, no excuses. Anybody else have anything else for SFR?
This will be my second one. So, I mean, the first time I went, I was nervous. I'm a very quiet person to begin with.
Yeah.
And not very outspoken or anything. So it was very nerve-wracking for me. And of course I cried. But
the nerves, man. Yeah.
Yes. So anybody that's gonna be going new, that's gonna be watching this, it's definitely an experience you have to go see. You have to go to it. It was extremely fun. And then just all the people I got to talk to and I've seen on videos, and I'm like, oh my God, I've seen you, and had conversations with them. There's so many different people and different types of things that people do. So just the experience alone, I would recommend everybody to go.
Heck yes. And good on you for overcoming the nerves. I remember like not knowing what to expect when I walked in, because it is overwhelming in general, like the amount of people that show up. And so then you're just like, there's all this, and then there's lights, and there's confetti, and there's this and this. Like there's always stuff happening at SFR. And I love the fact that you brought up that you were so nervous you cried, because same. Like anytime I get overwhelmed, I will cry. That, what is that scale that what is it? Kristen something. She said, if I'm not between a 3 and a 7, I'm crying. Like that's me. I am crying all the time. So SFR though, I agree 100%. Like it's a great way also to get out of your comfort zone and realize like we are such a blended family. Like you were talking about people do different things. Like I want to become, this is a future thing, guys. I'm going to become one of those leaders that has their people in like the tutus and the lights and the crazy like hair things, you know, like that was my favorite thing when I walked in. I was like, that is the kind of spirit I want. So yeah, I love SFR. It's like one of my favorite things. And I'm excited for everybody to go. So is everybody in here signed up or going to sign up for it? Of course. Did I get an of course? And Vaughn's like, yep. I think it's going to be interesting this year being in North Carolina. I'm curious to see how big the arena is, because I really feel like we've spent so much time on the West Coast. East Coast is a different vibe, baby. It's such a different vibe. So anywho, let's see if there's anything else coming out. What has everybody been focusing on sales-wise this month? I feel like I'm constantly like feeling like we have something going on. Like the International Flower Garden Festival obviously did that temporary shift out of stock and then back in stock. And looks like it's all good right now. So I've been focusing on that. Oh, Jen's there. Oh, I'm so bad at letting people in. If you have people that are like, yo, she needs to let me in, let me know. I'm really bad at this, okay? So anywho, I've been focusing on just booking parties. Like literally I did a training or a coaching call, and I was like, you know, the one thing that I need to get back to in my business is the basics, because I built my business to the mass that it was to become a star director from partying, and that's it. And I realized like 2020, 2021, 2022, I was really lazy. I was like, thank you everybody for coming to me so I don't have to do any work. And I got lazy, and the muscles that I was using when I started my business and I got really into Scentsy, just they got not used, they atrophied, I guess you could say. And so I stopped using them. And so I'm now getting into booking the parties that everybody's talking about lately, where it's like you send them a Canva website that they're able to click through the links. I'll pull it up real quick. I think I finished it, I'm not sure. But this is what I'm working through booking, because I think it's such a fun, it's called a shop and scroll. I am a huge proponent of showing your face in general. Like people will like you over just the products. Like I have people who choose me because I'm me, not just because I sell Scentsy, but because, you know, they could choose anybody else, but they choose me. And so I'm a huge proponent of the 30-minute live parties. Normally that's how my party would go. I could book it within 2 days away. I would show up that night. I would walk them around my house and I would clean my house and just talk about our products. But now everybody's switching to the, I can't share my screen. So we're just gonna have to deal with the low quality. Oh, it won't, hang on, I gotta take my thing off. Oh, I hate the little filters. Oops, somebody tried to join, hang on. I think I just accidentally told them no. Okay, there we go. Cynthia's in. Hey girl, hey. We're just chatting about different things that we're getting back into. I was just talking about how I'm getting back into partying because necessary. All right, let me turn off the blur. Okay, did it? Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. All right, so these are the shop and scroll parties. There are Canva links everywhere for these. I personally used Chastity's because she did such a good one. And so she literally just like puts everything in, and then all you have to do is go back through and change your links. But essentially what a shop and scroll is is you've got your introduction to who you are. Obviously I have to change this because I was not a former elementary school teacher. But you change your little bio, you talk about if they've ever seen Scentsy, if they've ever done anything. And then in these little links, there's a spot up here. Let me see, it might be in a different location right now. Usually it's up here. I don't know why it's not up there right now. I'll have to show you guys when I'm closer. Normally it's like a link. Undo the link. Oh, there it is. Okay, they changed it. That's why they updated it. So now you click this little link button. So you can do this with anything on Canva. You can link a website or whatever you need to link. And so every link as they're scrolling, it's like, okay, they can shop online here. They can just click it. Oh, they want to see the warmers. They get a quick preview of it and then they can click shop online. I think it's a fantastic idea. It makes parties almost like you have to have host involvement. So obviously the biggest thing that you're going to have to do is make sure that you are host coaching and getting them to understand that this is in their hands. But the fantastic thing is you can send this link to the person hosting and then they send out the link. So it's not coming directly from you. You are being introduced to these people. You have the ability to collect their information when they start. There's like a little link that she also suggests where you make your own, what is that thing called? The forms, a Google form, so that you're able to like create a connection with the people as well as get your host involved. And I think honestly, if you guys have ever had a party that is successful, it is because your host is actually engaged. If they're not engaged, the other people aren't engaged. So yeah, that's what I'm focusing on.
I have a question because I use the same one from Chastity, and I booked 2 of them a couple weeks ago, sent it, explained like, here's the script, like copy and paste this message, put their name in it and or generic and put it on your page with the link. And they were like, cool, like they knew what they were getting into. But then they come back and they're like, oh, I don't have time to go message people. And I'm like, that's fine. Just throw it up on your Facebook page and call it a day. And they didn't. Like, how do you guys get your people to your host to actually do it, to share the link? Because I have only had successful Facebook parties and those are still hard to come by.
So for me, I don't want to talk over anybody if anybody else has like ideas, but for me, it's the same thing in like business. So in business, we focus people on their goals, right? Same thing in parties. I make them make a wish list, tell me what exactly they're trying to get out of this party. And then I'm realistic with them. And I'm like, okay, so if you want to hit this so that you can get that for free, this is the goal we need to hit. And this is typically how many people it takes. Usually I say $30 is like an average order, right? And so I'll let them know. I'll just be straight up. Like I am very much in my business wanting to make sure that people know that I'm like, this is it. You have the torch in your hands. If you would like to have a successful party, here's how many people that you should have order, and just follow up with these words and this verbiage. Typically I'll tell them too, like, yeah, if you don't want to follow up, that's totally fine. But like, I will follow up and be realistic and be like, we probably should have a deadline on this by say 4 days or whatever. And then they're more likely to get the jump on it because they're going to be like, oh, I have a time limit. I'm not going to just have this like link that's constantly open, you know? Like I love people that have the shoppable links. Don't get me wrong, that works for some people, but I find that my people are much more motivated by like scarcity. The idea that, oh, okay, I have to do this before this point. So that would be my best suggestion. You're focusing them on what they need or what they want to get. And then you're giving them the realism of like, this is how many people that would take. Anybody else got answers for her? Courtney, somebody's hacking in the background. Is he okay?
Sorry, he's got bronchitis. So I'll go ahead and mute.
No, you're fine. We just went through this. Yeah, Sean had to go to the doctor in the ER because he stopped breathing. So yeah, it's called a bronchial spasm. If you guys ever have like a heart feeling, like your heart feels like it hurts when you're coughing so much, yeah, it can be fatal. So go to the doctor. But any other questions? Caitlin, did that help at all? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try it. So I have 2 coming up next week that they wanted Facebook, but I'm going to try like a double dip. Like, here's your link to go ahead and text to your people that aren't on Facebook. because since
Yeah.
it's already made, like it doesn't make sense not to give them both options, but we'll see.
Yeah. I also find that this works really easy. So most of my people that host, the big orders come from like the mothers-in-laws and like like for some reason it's always like the family members. And this seems to be easiest because people want the ease of being able to just click the link. I've noticed that our website can be overwhelming for some people. I have a lot of customers that they just screenshot stuff because they don't want to do all the extra. They're just like, please just do it for me. So I think that will be a benefit too, is just tell them to send it to like, their older family members and whatnot, because this is an easier link than them being on Facebook or like whatever, because navigating the website for older generations is sometimes hard.
Thinking back, like, I think that I didn't give them a deadline. Thinking about it now, I'm like, here you go, share away. And then I didn't say like, you have 5 days or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change that around.
Yeah. Cause like, I know for me, urgency has to, like, ADHD wise, I say this all, I know I'm ADHD, so I'm now studying it more, but urgency is one of those things that a lot of people, unless there is a deadline, that it goes straight to the bottom of their list in their brain. Like their brain will automatically be like, this is not important, or they're having a bad day. They're not going to just post it. You know what I mean? They're just going to be like, I'll deal with it tomorrow, because they don't have that urgency. So what is everybody else trying or working on this week? Haley's over there doing
Haley's
work. What are
booking
you
parties.
doing?
Haley's going to book parties this week.
So we're all
She
on the
doesn't know
same
yet, but she's
vibe.
about to.
I'm a little behind though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I've had a couple of friends message me asking if they could do a party. And I'm like, can you just stop? Like, I'm trying to be lazy and not do anything. And then they're messaging me, of course, now. Like, hey, can I do a party? And I'm like, fine, I'll sticker these catalogs.
That's like the most beautiful and tragic thing to have to deal with.
Like, it's
Vaughn,
awesome, yeah.
I'm totally here for booking parties. So Vaughn, what are you behind on? What do you mean behind?
I'm pretty much doing what she's doing. I'm stickering everything because when I ordered my stuff, they delivered it to the wrong house. So I had to contact support and they were going to resend me the shipment, but then they decided to find my package and deliver it to me. So I just got my package finally. So now I'm catching up on all this. So I've been going home after my long shift and stickering everything and trying to send them out.
So funny story, actually. This is my first season that I'm not doing catalogs or send outs. And it's working. I feel like I am more consistent if I don't have these looming things over my head where I'm like, I got to sticker it or else I can't. I've been making excuses to myself. I'll tell you that for sure. I'm always like, if I don't have this, I can't do the party. If I don't have this perfect, I can't do this. If I don't have the materials, I realize like website wise, yes, it's harder for older people. However, it has so much that I can just run an entire party and also help people through just the link. So that's what I'm trying. I'll let you know at the end of the season how that goes. But yeah, because I'm the same way. If something tragic or ridiculous is going to happen, it's going to happen to me. Like my mail getting lost, that would absolutely be something that would happen to me. And it would probably be a couple more weeks until I'd get it. And then by that point, I'm over like the excitement of the new season, when you get like hype and you're like, I want to share it with everybody. I'd be over that by then. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, great. I have all these things and I don't want to do it. So we're working to do both sides, is like making sure I get all the things done.
That was me. All my catalogs and testers and stuff got delivered right after I left town, and finally got stuff stickered yesterday. All my printable stuff and my sticker sheets and stuff done.
It's so much
sent out.
So much. And it's great if you have a system. Like people that have systems, I applaud you. But your girl over here, we wing it every day, as you can tell by our our chat today. And so on the weeks that, when you have like a month that you're like, I am so motivated, and then you do all the things and you order all the things, that's me the end of the month. And then the first of the month comes, and then I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. I don't know why I ordered this. Past Fallon was obviously delusional. Present Fallon is very aware of our time here. So I am focusing on booking the online parties so that I don't have to have the huge, like, I wouldn't say burden, but like the huge, like 16 steps to do. So whatever you're working with, moral of the story, just get it done. Like this week is one of those that I think all of us are focusing on parties, it sounds like. So find what works and just run with it. If it is stickering things, do it. If it's online, if it's the scrollable, just getting those booked is important. I haven't used it in a while, I'm not gonna lie, but the reports tab to see who hasn't ordered in a long time, those are the people I'm focusing on right now. Mostly because I want to know who I'm not losing, but who I'm not serving well. And those are the people I'm going to start with, because obviously their stash is probably going to be low, or they've forgotten about Scentsy, and then they can just be roped back in with cleaning products, because our cleaning products are the best. So I'm starting with those kind of people. And the people that when I was first started, I focused so much on wax and warmers. I'm recircling back and seeing what can I introduce to them that is not wax and warmers. So that's what I'm doing this week. Anybody else have anything that you're doing this week? I love the quiet. Have you guys ever seen those TED Talks that it's like, your most powerful weapon is just silence, especially when you're talking to people? Just Vaughn is laughing. It's a thing though. Okay, so let's talk about, obviously we have a special right now for people joining. Have you guys offered that at all? Have you been posting about it? How have you been posting about it? Kaylee. I feel like this one is such a benefit though. You either spend $25 on a freaking warmer, or you get like whole business. And honestly, I've been like, not even just the business. You want a discount, boo? This is how. You already spent $100. Why not do this? So that's kind of how I've been staging it. How has anybody else been sharing it? Looking at you, Courtney. Have you shared about the special?
Sorry, I went to go print flyers and I have no idea what's happening right now.
I feel like this is a productive hour. Everybody is like, we're in Scentsy mode, and then you just do that. We're talking about the $25 join special, because obviously it's kind of rare that this happens. So how are you utilizing it, or are you? Honesty hour.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not shared it yet. I know I'm being a bad consultant right now, but I do have plans to kind of highlight the that little mini warmer and get some like real life photos of it. And they'd be like, oh my God, this is so pretty. And then when people are like, yep, I want it, just kind of be like, oh yeah, by the way, it includes, you can get the whole new season testers if you want to do that as well. Just kind of spin it that way. I haven't really thought through. Apparently I'm still in the hot mess working.
I just got out of the shower. I understand. I look like a wet rat. We're all good. This is honesty hour. We're allowed to be messy here. It's all about connection, not perfection.
Exactly.
Do any of you know which 25 testers they get on that kit?
I want to say it said the spring
new spring ones, the ones that just came out with the catalog. So not if they were included in last season's catalog, they're not in the 25 that you get. It's just the 25 new ones.
Okay.
And then also the ones that returned. So the new, how many did we get? New?
I have no idea.
12?
There was like 24, 20, I guess there was 25 if that's what it is.
Hold on, I have a thingy right here. I can count how many it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's the 10 new ones, the new releases, like the Lake My Day and those ones, and then the new transition ones. So like the Squeeze a Day came back, I don't know if Blue Grotto was in the fall winter catalog, but all of the ones that discontinued last spring and then now they're bringing back, they'll be getting those.
So I just actually found I love the training tab. If you guys don't explore this more often, you should, and you should encourage your downlines too, because in that little thing, because I was trying to see, oh, what did we, what do they get in their kit or whatever? And then I scrolled down and it's like, make the most of Scentsi's join promotions. It's a link, you click it, and then it's giving you actionable steps. Commit, make a plan, share the join promotion, invite your prospects to a Scentsy opportunity night, bacon night, whatever it's called, taco night. Review Scentsi's rules about income claims, flip that party, expand your team, become a supportive sponsor. And then additionally, they also, added a little tidbit about reminding you that we have an incentive period right now. And this is a fantastic thing to utilize for the incentive. I always forget we have an incentive. I don't know why. It just is what it is. But we're still doing that, the Find Your Focus incentive, which is focused on your team. So there we go. Speaking of teams, does anybody have any questions about leading or anything like that? Culture, follow up, like what do we got? I'm here for all the questions today.
Encouraging the people who have kind of quit, motivating, not motivating, because I know that's the wrong word, but inspiring them.
Okay, I have a question. What kind of conversations are you having with them about why they're in Scentsy?
So like early on, I had talked to them about it, and when I reach out, they're just unresponsive. But a lot of them, it was about money, like having an extra $50 to $200 a month or $500 a month. And like, I know some of them have busy lives. And so I'm trying to show how I do things with a busy life and that kind of thing. But a lot of them, like I did a new Jumpstart program mid-February that was like 45 days of text messages that it's like daily things to restart their business. And I had 7 or 8 people join that campaign for Project Broadcast. And none of them have done anything since. Like they were very excited and they said like, reach out with questions, let me know, like, what are your new goals, that kind of thing. But then they didn't come back with anything.
Okay. So I have a two-parter, I suppose. First one is obviously don't have any expectations of anybody because, there are some people who just don't want it. It is what it is. Second part though is I've noticed like 2 things that always seem to affect when people are off and don't want to really like, do it. It's either they don't see the potential or maybe they haven't reached that potential where they're getting the $5 or $50 or the $200, or they're not specific enough in that vision. And that typically the way that you can redirect them is to have a connection night like this, where we're all just chatting. And then really like people always do vision boards in the early start of the year. People do, there's I don't remember the concept. It's essentially like a vision board, but it's much more specific on things that they can buy with said $200 that they get. Just causing a chain reaction of connection and redirecting them to think about how they can apply Scentsy to their life. Because we can say it 10,000 times. It's amazing. It does this, it does that. They won't hear us unless they're applying it to what they actually need. And it might not even be, they might think they need money and then they might realize that it's something else. So really just creating, really our responsibility as leaders is just to create the opportunity to have those conversations or to create those points of connection that they can show up to.
So I did start at the beginning of January, I started doing a Tuesday night training for my team. And I sometimes have 1 or 2 show up, but outside of being out of town the last couple of weeks, I've been doing them every week. And then uploading and sharing the replays and things like that. And then Wednesdays, I don't know, a long time ago, Kaylee had started like a Work It Wednesday evening. And so I've been continuing that. And I have nobody from my team. Cynthia and I are like the only 2 that show up for that. But like, it's still good for me. I benefit from it and I know she does, but like trying to find days and times to get them engaged so that they can see the value of just the community part or the question opportunity or, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's where I'm struggling for that part.
Well, and first, make sure you release any shame around that, because I know it's hard to talk about when you're like, I feel like I'm not a good enough leader. It's not that. Trust me, it's not that. So just release that.
No,
you know.
And I want to keep doing it because for myself, like it's helping me in the process, like become more comfortable with training and teaching. And like, I came from a teaching background and a training background. And so like, I felt like I was comfortable with that, but then now I'm going from education-based content to Scentsy-based content. And so like, I'm still benefiting. I'm still enjoying doing it. I'm using the Tuesday training videos onto YouTube. So then that's, getting a new stream of potential customers or consultants, whatever. But just like not understanding what part I'm missing. Like, how do I even did a poll, like what night would you guys want to do this? And they were all saying like Tuesday, 7 p.m. was great. And I was like, cool, that's perfect. And so it's like, I know everybody's busy. And so I don't want to harp on anybody for that, but I don't know. What did Courtney say here?
I'm doing something new to get my team excited. Oh, I'm curious to hear it, and then I'll give my thoughts too.
So I did a group coaching call yesterday with a couple other directors, and we were all talking about kind of the same thing about getting our downline excited about Scentsy again, because everybody kind of feels that disconnect. We're coming down from the hyper growth and the hyper season and our big fall winter season, and everybody kind of like pitched ideas about why do you stick with Scentsy? And honestly, I said it was because of the community. I like having the connection with each one of you guys. And so I came up with a fun, instead of doing a weekly training, I'm thinking about doing a weekly like game night. So we could do trivia or do a movie night and just kind of like chill over. They have like Hyperbeam and stuff, and you can just watch movies with people. So then we're still getting that connection, but not everybody kind of benefits from, the trainings, because we get them here with Nomad and we get them on our weekly training Tuesdays. And there's so many trainings offered by Scentsy. So what we can do to offer the connection is to do fun meetups. And so I'm going to be trying that. And I'll be sending an invite for everybody as well. And so you're welcome to invite your teams and get them to connect that way. So we'll hopefully that might work for you too.
Is that all virtual?
Yep, because nobody likes to leave or put a bra on. So
Ditto.
yeah, and plus it'll be a little bit easier for everybody to actually show up, because they're like, oh well, I don't have to leave the house, but I get to play a fun trivia game. Like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. Are you doing like prizes or any kind of thing like that, or just bring a drink and enjoy?
I think that it's just going to be, because I'm trying not to spend, more of my money on things like this. But I think that having bragging rights and making like a fun graphic, being like, oh, this week's trivia winner, and being like, oh, the #1 Friends knowledgeer, and doing a small shout out on our team page. Will be just as good as getting, a $5 gift card in the mail. So.
Okay, so I love that. First of all, A+. Like, me, I'm all about the connection, because I feel the same. We provide trainings. There is so much content on YouTube, man. And if people wanted to find it, they would. So the thing is the connection. So what I was going to say is, in my honest leadership, I would ask in another poll, not just like on what nights work best, but like, hey, what's been the biggest obstacle that you haven't been able to make our Tuesday night calls? Hey, is there anything that would, a subject that would, bring you out to learn about? I would just be like straight up and send that kind of poll where it's like, let's just be honest. Cause like I am very much in, the more you can be honest and vulnerable and tell people like, hey, we're really just trying to provide these for you guys. And so I want to know what's best for you. It takes away that shame. If you can't make it, it's okay. Like just letting them know, hey, I would like to know where you're at in your business. And if you want me to do all of these things, because it takes your time, it takes your energy. And so you really have to as long as it's helping you, obviously stay with it. But the big thing is just finding if they are finding value in it. Because I know for me, I checked out for 2 years and I was like, I don't want to be on trainings. I don't want to talk to people. I wanted to work and I didn't want to be involved. And so once we have those like clear expectations and boundaries, we're not going to feel any shame either when they don't show up, or, you know, we're not going to waste the energy on feeling like we're not doing enough when we know we're doing enough. It's just, we need to find the people who want to run with us and do that. So that would be my next step. Probably it would be just having an honest poll and just being direct about it. Be right back. Oh my gosh, I've never seen that in the last 10 years. Away from keyboard. Cynthia, out here in the, hey, you have any thoughts?
So I'm here and I kind of been listening, kind of haven't we're at work, but I have been doing that. So the polls aren't really working for me because nobody in my team seems to be answering them. Like they see it, they go through all of it, but they're not answering. But I'm still showing up for them in the sense that I'll post and I'll just be like, okay, this is what I have today. This is what another team shared. We have our Thursdays here, and our Wednesday, there's the Zoom one that Kaylee had originally started that Kaylin and I are just doing. And I've invited them. Sometimes if they're by my house, I'm like, hey, I'll be at my house, come by, swing by, have dinner. It's really not dinner. It's more get in here with me, so you can see. But I really like to get that idea of maybe more polls, even though I do polls and they don't tend to answer, because I know that they're still watching. I just had one reinstate, but she's not moved. And I told her, I'm like, if you reinstate, you have to make sure that you hit that 200 PRV, or then you're going to be kicked out and that you're going to have to wait even longer because you decided to do it. And one of my biggest things with them, I'm like, if you are looking to reinstate, because I have 3 right now who want to, but have been saying they want to for some time, but they never answer on the polls. They never type back on the group. I'm like, is this group helpful, or what are you guys looking for? Like, I feel like I'm pulling teeth. Because I put it out to them. What do you want to see from me? What do you need help with? What can I explain? And I don't really get anything back, but I have 3 of them messaging me separately. I want to reinstate. What do I do? And I'm like, okay, pick up your testing kit, go through. These are the cents now. I sent them the flip catalog so they could kind of just see where we were since they don't have catalogs. So I'm like, but you don't need the catalog. If you still have your testers, pull the ones that you have from there and then let people smell those, because most of the time those are going to be the ones that a lot of people have already smelled. They're coming back in another catalog, and there's no reason to have to buy them all over again. I did even offer them to split some of my bars that I have, so they can get them out, or I'll just send them on my behalf, and then they can reimburse me later for a bar of whatever I choose on their next order or whatnot. But I keep reminding them, do the 200 before you reinstate, so you can at least collect those orders, and then you're already running, instead of walking and trying to collect them, and then it's going to be times up. So that's kind of where that's been for me.
I was going to say, I just had somebody reinstate. We actually have a call coming up on Monday. But I'm planning for that call to kind of do what I was telling Kaylin earlier. Like, I want to know why they reinstated because I can tell them all day that they need to get the 200, but I know that if they're reinstating for the wrong reason, or maybe they're like not ready yet, that it's going to take some more redirection and like making sure that they recognize like the 200 is a thing. But I want to know what their deeper reason for rejoining is. Because obviously if they just hit, I know some people are kind of impulsive and they're like, oh, I hit my 3 months off, so now I can come back. And I'm like, okay, but first we need to figure out what your goal is, because you can't just come back and then you'll end up getting knocked down again. And that's defeating as is, you know what I mean? So yeah, I would have conversations too with them and just find out
I have to do that too.
Yeah. Children. No, you cannot have candy. Give me 5 more minutes, bud. So yeah, those I think those are probably the most important conversations that you can have immediately with them when they rejoin, because I feel like I am one of those people that if you tell me what to do, I'm not going to do it. So I have to respect my people that are probably like that too. So I'm like, I'm going to try not to like word vomit and be like, get your 200 in or else you're going to be kicked out, but more so just refocus it on them. I think honestly, it's a hard link because it's hard to not attach people showing up to your worth as a leader. But you guys are obviously doing the steps. Now you just need to find the people who are willing to run with you. And I think that's why this month with the $25 join special would probably be like supreme. And it goes back to partying, which we were talking about earlier, because I found my best consultants through partying, finding the people who, when they got the host challenge, they were like, hell yeah, I can knock that out. They did. And then we ended up with a new consultant that was able to run. So, it all kind of interconnects, and just keep doing what you're doing as a leader. Cause obviously, I mean, you're doing a butt ton compared to me. So bravo on that. Give me a second, Bubba. Oh, this man.
I'm going to double back with you though. I think I missed that part. What is your host challenge?
Just usually to get to the level that they get the $75 free. And when they hit that, I'm like, there's no reason for you not to join and get the money back from having that much. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those like, yeah. And when people hit that, typically, like I said, my old parties, weren't on yet, I don't think, but I'm going back to partying. I'm going back to my bare roots on what I started when I got into this business, because that is what worked for me. That is what built our huge community. And so I'm going back to partying, and now I'm trying multiple different avenues for that. My most successful were my 30-minute live parties. So it's only taking me 30 minutes at one evening. Everything else was Visalead. If you guys have ever heard of Visalead, where it like posts everything for you on your group, I would Visalead the rest of the thing. I would show up for my 30 minutes. Hot Mess Express. I'm telling you, when I say people love authenticity, I mean it. Don't show up. Don't have to be completely like put together and stuff. I showed up like legit, guys. I'm in my PJs. My house is dirty. Like, let's clean it together and I'll walk you through the products. And that was my most successful thing. And that is typically what ended up selling the most, was my 30-minute parties. And then when they hit that 75, because I would tell them, hey, host coaching, follow up, do this, blah, blah, blah. Then they would hit that host challenge, as I call it, the $75 free. And I'm like, okay, you have to. Like, there's no reason not to. You did all of the steps for me as a consultant, other than the 30-minute live, and you've already seen how I do it. And it's easy, it's authentic. It's not this put on show that you have to feel like you're not going to be able to do. Making it easier for people, you know what I mean? You always got to make it look easy, because it is, we're just showing them a product. So I would get back to the basics. That's really, you're doing all of the steps that a good leader does. So you have that aspect. You just need to find the people. And fresh blood. Let me just attest to fresh blood. That sounds terrible. I hate that term. Is there something else? Me too.
You could say fresh meat instead.
I feel like that's worse. I don't know. I'm like, there's no good term for this. But new people, new energy to come in, because I have seen so many, like, I wouldn't call dead trees, but you know what I mean? Like, people who have been in the business a really long time, everything has just kind of like trailed off. And then they get one person who comes in and runs with them as a leader. That creates a culture of hustle. And people are, and I don't love the word hustle either. It creates a culture of like going and getting what you want, period, of grit, of like running. And people will, it's almost like a human condition where we see other people doing stuff and we're like, I want to do that too. And so if you can find one person, and it really does, it can change your business with one person who is willing to run with you and do the things with you. Like, obviously you and Kaylin are like doing things together. That's fantastic. Capitalize on that. Show people that you guys are running together. Show you guys how you guys are working together. And then people will start to feel the energy shift. And then as you get people who are joining in and excited and bring that new energy, they'll shift it. It's like a rising tide lifts all boats. My team name is Rising Tide. And the reason for that is because one person can literally change the trajectory of everything. So it's just finding new people, I think, is going to be your biggest thing.
So I will go for people that do parties with me consistently. I will go through and add up the amount of all that their party have sold and then message them and say, hey, if you had joined and done these parties, and I don't do anything for them, their bag parties. If you had done these parties yourself, you would have made this much exactly. And that's in addition to all the free stuff that you got for your parties too. And so that's how I've probably gotten like half of the people beneath me. Cause I was like, you know, you would have made this much money off of your parties or even your own purchases. And then like $25 is a drop in the bucket to get that back.
Agree tenfold. That's a conversation I literally just had with that customer that calls me all the time. She spent $600 last month. $600. And I was like, girl, can you just like, I'm just doing this for you as a customer. Like, you join and get money back, you weirdo. But she's like, no, it's fine. Okay. All right. But that's the other thing is like, they say like offering like a stick of gum, like you need to make it that, what is the word? That, I don't want to say non-traumatic. My brain is literally like obviously going off the deep end right now, but you know, it needs to be that
casual,
nonchalant. There you go. Let's go. Yes, exactly. So make it as easy as possible to just offer it, because I feel insane when I put like, when I start talking to somebody and then I realize, oh yeah, and there's this benefit. Oh yeah. And then this benefit. Oh, and this benefit. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't see how people don't see the benefit here, you know? So just continually, casually handing out all of these things of benefits and making sure people realize them and get those hosts. All right. Is there anything else that people want to chat about? Hopefully anything has been good. I don't think there's anything else special wise that's going on right now.
How about we brainstorm how to find new hosts in public? Like out of
Ooh,
strangers.
yeah, I'm so bad at that. We need Debbie Pitts Palmer on here because so there's actually, she has a YouTube video, I'm sure, on it. I'm sure. Or even a training. I shouldn't have typed that in. Hang on.
I don't know, but I know that when I went to World Tour, I put myself out there and I was like, oh, this is killing me, Cynthia. Like, you're by yourself. But it helped me because we've been out to dinner a couple nights just because our schedules have been so busy that I've been dropping to our hostess or to our servers and stuff like my cards, which I wasn't doing before. And I'm like, hey, here's a sample, check it out and let me know what you think. I write their name down so that I can hopefully get them the next time we go, because it's all places that we've been going to. So I'm kind of like spotting them that way, just as a reminder. But that's been what I've been doing the last week and a half, 2 weeks, hoping that I'll get something back, or when I go next week that I can follow up with them there.
I was gonna say, there was a document a long time ago. I'm sure I have it in the depths of my computer, but it was like 99 ways to expand your business or whatever. And it had some really great gems, like making sure you talk to local businesses, setting up displays, whatever. Yeah, exactly. So it was like a list of 99 things. I honestly think just getting somebody's foot in the door, because I'm hesitant, I suppose, in person, like Debbie Pitts Palmer. And I will say she does have a YouTube. I just looked it up. Debbie Pitts Palmer is known for recruiting, like literally on the spot, like people in the grocery store. She starts up conversations. She's at a soccer game. She starts up conversations. She recruits like 60 something people a year. She's a great person to listen to if you want that kind of like in-person public, like how do I approach people who, you know, exist around me while I'm shopping. But I am more of the covert, I suppose, where I like the aspect of getting them as a customer first, and then I'm able to introduce them to everything else. But Debbie Pitts Palmer would be my suggestion on who to look up for YouTubes for recruiting out of the blue is really what she does. Hopefully that's good. Otherwise, I wish. In fact, let me look for that document real quick. I'm sure I have that here. Just switched computers when it died on me last year, though.
Was it in the workstation?
No, it was something that a consultant made, and it was extensive. Like there's no way you would even get through half of those ideas in a year, I don't think.
I'm gonna go.
But
I'm gonna do all 99 today.
dude, that would take so much effort and probably a lot more hours. That was like they're really, really good ideas though. It might be in the director share page. I'll look for it there. And if it is, I will share it with Maggie to post in y'all's thing too. Okay, let's see. Man, this goes back far. I forget I've almost been a consultant for 6 years now. That's a long time.
I'm scrolling Debbie Pitts Palmer's recent videos. Her second one is how to recruit using a calculator.
She has, let me tell you,
literally
she has a lot of ways. She posts regularly on the director page, regularly. She's like, oh, I met a lady today. This is exactly what I said. And she signed up by the time our conversation was over. And I'm like, wow, like she's the one on that, And she also, I think she just really started getting into YouTube. So bravo to her. But I'll find that and I'll post it. I'm sure I can find it. I'm sure it's on my computer somewhere. But my thing is just really expanding my customer base, and that starts with parties and then also doing like random covert things. But anybody else? We've got like 8 minutes. Is there anything anybody's excited about besides SFR? I feel like I hold on between events. Love events. Oh, we'll end with what's one actionable thing that you're going to do after we're off of this call. One thing you can get done in your business today.
I'm going to call an old customer. Her sister actually joined my team, but she popped on my live last night with my husband and I smelling the new scents. And she said, oh, I tried to call you and it didn't go through. So I'm going to call her because the last 2 orders. So she had a $2,000 home party and then she had a $600 order like 3 weeks before that. So she's like, I'm finally through all the 1,000 bars I got from my party. And I'm like, well, shoot, if you don't want to shop with your sister, I will take that call.
Right. Time for another one.
But, yeah.
Good. Heck yeah. Get that done today. And honestly, like a $2,000 party.
It was insane. I had another girl go with me, Amanda. I don't know if you know her. Amanda went with me to help because it's my first home party. And I knew that like, there's a lot of hoopla in this house. It was the most fun I've had, but I was there for like 5 hours because they just talk. Yes. And I was like, oh God, no. But I mean, for $2,000 home party, I was like, I will stay. Sorry, hon, but you got the kids a little longer. And it was in Bastrop, so it was like an hour away from me. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I was exhausted.
But see, that's a 5 hour, 6 hour day for you. And you made $500.
But I made, yeah.
Yeah. So hourly.
Six because I got that 5% bonus.
Oh yeah. Yep. Insane.
Yeah, just from the party.
Good.
And a new teammate. So I was like, cool. Well worth it.
That's like number one
task. That's my actionable.
Top. She's now.
Yes.
What is everybody
my
else
other task?
Oh.
My other task is mailing out host packs for my 2 parties next week.
Yes, and giving them a date.
Yes, they have dates already and
Okay,
because
good.
it's on Facebook, but I am sending just this. I threw in a travel twist because they don't sell for me.
Yes.
Skittles, a catalog with the sniffers and some little eye mask things, but
Those are so
we'll
on
see.
top of it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love
That's
it.
what
Look
3
at your
hours, that's what 3
organization.
hours of work gets me is organization.
See, I do that. I can only do that when I'm sitting in front of Netflix because then I'm gonna sit in front of Netflix anyways. So I might as well just get this stuff to do.
I took my kids to the library yesterday for 1 hour and I got all my scented stickers done.
Wow. I need to do that.
So I was like, cool, this is going to happen more often.
I wonder if I could sticker at the gym. They have my kids for like 2 hours and it's fantastic. But right now I just use follow-up time. All right. If we have nothing else, we've got 4 minutes. If anybody has questions, concerns, bad things that have happened this week that you need to vent out, good things that happened that you're excited about. We honestly, this was a super full conversation. I feel like people who are watching this are gonna be like, there's too many ideas. I don't know what Ariel wanted to talk about. Sending thank yous for orders placed this week and making leprechaun samples for fun. Cute. When is that? Is that on Monday?
No,
Saturday.
it's on Friday, next Friday.
Right. Oh, okay, the 17th.
Are any of you doing the like reindeer food thing with Rosalina the rabbit? Have you guys seen that going around?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. I saw somebody post in the Canva group, like they made the little card and they're doing rabbit food for the Easter bunny and then giving with Rosalina, like a whole little thing.
I love
I'm not
that.
doing it, but
for some reason, my customers, well, military-based customers love that kind of stuff because I just deliver it, you're able to deliver it in person. And most of my customers are online. So that I'm gonna have to look that up because those sell like hotcakes for me. Kaylee.
Well, whenever one of my cousins, she sprinkles like sprinkles in the yard the day before Easter. And then the next morning, like lollipops have grown.
I love that.
So that might be a cute idea to give with Rosalina too, is like a couple of lollipops and sprinkles to go with it. With
That's
the
a good
idea.
Ooh, I wonder if people would be okay with me just doing it in the middle of the night. Be like, here, sprinkle these for your kids, and I'll just come and stab like lollipops in your yard. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm willing to make it weird. All for the ease and the fun.
if you offer that though, you're gonna have like 300 people say yes.
I would love that though. 300. I'll take 300 buddies. That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. That would be so fun. Somebody forked my yard when I was a teenager, and I've always wanted to like do something like that. So that's basically it, right? But this is that was a prank. So Courtney's like, what's forking? They literally took a whole bunch of forks, like plastic forks, and just stuck them in my yard. And so, yeah, I was not cool when I was in school and nobody liked me. So
You can't do that here. The ground is too hard.
True.
It'll just like snap the
True.
forks in half.
It's just desert. You'd have to water it. It'd be a long process for you.
And then if we have cameras and we can find the person that watered the ground, because it's illegal here in Vegas because we're in a severe drought.
Oh no. Okay, never mind. Don't do that.
So you just get them arrested for forking.
People rewatching, don't do that if you're in a drought. That's terrible. You gave me the idea though that there are cameras nowadays. We're in 2023. I would have to have a costume. And that would be even better.
At least ears or something and a nose.
Yeah. So anywho, thanks for joining our connection call this week. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. And make sure that you're putting some work in. Put your goal on one thing that you're going to actually do in your business, and then get it done this week. And then I'll check in next week when I'm here too, even though Ariel will be running it. So bye, friends.